Okay, so get this. We've got this custody battle in Italy,
Okay.
and the dad is being accused of giving like magic water to his kids
Magic water.
instead of, actual medicine.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, right? But it is a real case, and we're diving into all the details today. It's from Bergamo, Italy.
Okay.
We've got court documents, personal testimonies, the whole shebang to try and figure out how this dad's, let's say, unique beliefs ended up with him being accused of psychological abuse.
It's a really tough situation, right? Because you want to say, hey, everyone can believe what they want.
Right.
But then where's the line? When did those beliefs actually put kids at risk?
Exactly. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. This isn't, just some hypothetical harm. We're talking about two kids, like teenagers now, 16 and 13, stuck right in the middle of this whole mess.
Oh, wow.
Parents are separated, obviously, big legal battle. And it's the dad who's actually on trial.
Okay.
Now, we're mostly hearing the mom side of things, which, that's important to keep in mind.
Yeah, of course.
She's a psychologist, which is interesting. And yeah, she paints a pretty disturbing picture, let me tell you.
It is really important to remember we're only getting one side of the story here.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't know the father's perspective, what led him to do these things, or if any of this is even true.
Totally. We're going to do our best to kind of read between the lines where we have to. But yeah, we definitely don't have the full picture. But even before COVID hit and everyone was losing their minds, there were already, some red flags. Like the mom says he was giving the kids this magic water.
Magic water.
Instead of antibiotics.
Oh, wow.
Like prescribed by a doctor, right?
Yeah.
So you got to wonder, what was even in this water? Was it just tap water? Was it, I don't know. And,
Right.
And how could that have messed with the kids' health?
Yeah, I mean, that could be straight up medical neglect.
Right.
Depending on what it was and what they weren't getting.
Totally.
And then on top of that, there's all this weird stuff, rituals.
Oh, yeah.
Like he'd lay hands on the kids and be like, I'm absorbing your pain.
Yeah.
And he even said his eczema was from absorbing their negativity. It's hard to know what's going on there.
Yeah. It's definitely not typical behavior, let's say.
No.
And then, to make matters even weirder, he goes to this festival in Milan. This is back in 2016.
Okay.
And I don't know, man, he comes back and it's he's a completely different person. He starts calling himself the eternal essence incarnate.
The eternal essence incarnate.
Yeah. And saying he knows the absolute truth.
Right.
So it's did this festival feed into something that was already there, or did it flip a switch in his brain? Who knows?
Right.
But we do know that after COVID, everything just ramps up to a whole other level.
Yeah.
This is when his beliefs get really start affecting the kids, and not in a good way. He starts telling them that their own mom is radioactive because she got vaccinated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's encouraging them to stay away from her, not even touch her.
See, and that's where it gets really dangerous. That's straight up manipulation.
Oh, totally.
And it can do so much damage,
Mm-hmm.
like parental alienation, that kind of thing.
It breaks my heart just thinking about what these kids have been through.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being told your own mom is dangerous, someone you should be scared of?
Right.
It's just awful. And unfortunately, it gets worse.
Really?
Yeah. The older child, the 16-year-old, he starts having problems in school.
Okay.
Skipping class, not doing work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of his dad, putting all these ideas in his head.
Wow.
The younger one, she starts acting out too. She's scared of her mom, doesn't want to be around her.
Oh.
Yeah, and she starts playing these pranks, like throwing water on her mom, hiding her keys. And she even films her reactions, while she's freaking out. And apparently, this is all at the dad's, encouragement.
Oh, man.
It's just a bad situation.
It's heartbreaking. These kids are so young, so impressionable. They see their parents doing this stuff and they think it's normal, even when it's harmful.
Right.
And that can have serious consequences down the line.
Yeah.
Make it hard for them to build healthy relationships.
It's a lot. And the craziest part, back in 2022, the father was acquitted of the psychological abuse charges.
He was.
Yeah. The judge said it was because of overprotective concern and partial mental incapacity.
Overprotective concern. So, he was trying to protect his kids, even if he was going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. Right. Right. That's what's so tough about this,
Right.
Where do you draw the line between someone's right to believe what they want and the potential harm those beliefs can cause, especially to kids.
Right. And the legal system really struggles with this.
Yeah.
You know, it's not black and white. How do you define overprotective in a legal sense?
Exactly.
And then there's the partial mental incapacity.
Yeah.
That throws a whole other wrench in things.
For sure.
It means the court saw something, some diminished capacity that affected his judgment, maybe made him less responsible for his actions.
Yeah. It's complicated, to say the least.
It is.
And it doesn't end there. There's been an appeal, so now there's a whole new trial happening.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, will he get custody back? What's going to happen to these kids? It's really up in the air.
Yeah. And it makes you think, beyond all the legal stuff, the court dates, the headlines, there's a family at the heart of this.
Oh, absolutely.
A family struggling with something most of us can't even imagine.
And it really makes you think, how do we deal with all of this? The beliefs, the rights of the parents, but most importantly, protecting the kids, especially in today's world where misinformation is everywhere.
It's a tough one.
It is. It is a tough one. It's something we all need to be thinking about.